Hello, BookTube. Have a bit of a mail haul and a book haul. Well, the mail haul is a book haul. It comes in the mail. But been out, went to work a little bit, wandered off with everybody. Um, the other day I did a book haul from the Listen. It's a charity shop in. Today I got the books from the one in White River Junction, Vermont. So did pretty good. Those are 25 cents. Got home, there was a box from Hyde Cottage, which is very exciting, right? Who wouldn't be excited with that? And then I stopped at my LCS, my local comic shop, and I had some stuff on my pull list there. Still have a few upstairs that I haven't caught up with. I only have a few comic books that I keep up with, and most of the time my wife on her way home from work will pick them up for me on Wednesdays, which is new release day. But we had a couple that were hanging over from this last Wednesday, and then I like to go in occasionally just to see if there's something different that I have never seen, so that part's fun. So I'll go in order. So first thing I found, like I said, these hardbacks, both of them, were 25 cents a piece. So I've got Clive Cussler and Justin Scott, The Gangster. Good shape. I had a little bit of glue stuff up here from a price tag. My wife got that off of it for me while we were driving. And this is an Isaac Belle adventure. And after the original Dirt Pit, I like Isaac Belle. So those are like in the early part of the 20th century. So there's some technology coming along, stuff. He's a private eye type of guy. He works actually for an agency. Now I like the Sam and Remy Fargo. So traditional Dirt Pit, Isaac Belle, Sam and Remy Fargo. Not as big a fan as the Numa Files, although I like them, but that's sort of the order it goes in. And then nice end papers. So here we have, in 1906, the Van Dorn private detective Belle has his hands full protecting the most vulnerable New Yorkers, immigrants with nowhere else to turn, from a vicious organization known as the Black Hand. Kidnapping, blackmail, extortion, sabotage. They take the oldest tricks and add dynamite. When a coalition of the Black Hand's victims hire out the Van Dorn agency to protect their businesses, their reputations, and their families, Belle forms a crack squad and begins scouring the city for clues. Then the unexpected happens. He spots a familiar face. The unexpected always happens. These are fun. I love Clive Cussler. Then this next one, for nautical fiction fans, I have number 1, 2, and 4, and 5. I don't know how to use my hands. So I'm missing one. I'm missing one volume of the first 5 of the Julian Stockwin kid novels, Maritime Adventures. And this is the one I was missing. Again, for a quarter in hardback. Sea Flower, a kid novel, Julian Stockwin. This is Scribner's, New York. And this is 2003, and it is a first edition. It looks like a first printing. I love these books. I'm looking forward to making a complete set of them someday. I don't even know what number they're on. They're going to be. There's been a lot of them published. Let's see. The year is 1794. Kidd and the other shipwrecked sailors are returned to England for the court-martial of the sole surviving officer of Her Majesty's frigate Artemis. Kidd was on duty the 13th of April as a quartermaster of the starboard watch. He knows what happened that dreadful night. His evidence can destroy an officer's career. So we will see. These are really fun. I'm glad to be catching up on them. I don't see them very often. So, again, excited. So, yeah, 50 cents in books today. A little more in comic books. So this is number 6 of the Savage Avengers. I've been reading these. This is Conan a little out of his time. Excuse me. The writer is Gary Duggan. The artist is Kim Jacinto. Conan, Wolverine, Doctor Voodoo, Punisher, Venom, and Elektra banded together in a fight for their lives against Kulan Goth and Jotan Lu, the Marrow God. They slayed Jotan Lu, but Kulan Goth evaded the team and departed to seek out the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange. Dr. Voodoo decided to track Kulan Goth with Elektra, Wolverine, and Venom, Elektra, Wolverine, and Venom left to warn Doctor Strange. Meanwhile, the Punisher and Conan opted to take the long way home, starting with a dangerous trek through the Savage Lands, and this is that adventure. Give you an idea of some of the art. I like these. It is Conan in a different place. There's always been a lot of that. I get Savage Sword of Conan, Conan the Barbarian, Age of Conan. So those are some of my other comics. Then I get from the same author originally. I get Red Sonja. This is number 9. So I keep up with all of these. I didn't get these, and I almost wish I had. Those James Bond. I don't even know if they're good, but how can you not like James Bond? So this is Red Sonja, the Sorcerers of Wigger Nobadine. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. The writer's Mark Russell and the illustrator's Bob Q. And yeah, I like these. Then, especially if they have something going on with a character, Marvel will put out these things called True Believers. They're really reprints. Sometimes reprints and reprints and reprints. I don't grab them all. Like they must have had 9 or 10 Hulk. And I don't think I got about 4 of them. I grab them as I can. They're $1. If you have a pull list like I do, like 89 cents. So this is X-Men. This is Uncanny X-Men. I have not even looked at this. I know Steve Donahue would have read this original. But I don't know what his take on X-Men is, and he's told me. But here's that. So I'll read it. I like reading some of these old ones. Look at the Venom Island on the back. That's pretty cool. And let's see. God Spare the Child. So is this older style. Then the other True Believers, X-Men. His name is Bishop. Same ad on the back, so. Yeah, Payback. So yeah, I read these, catch up on old stuff. A lot of times I don't think I've read it, and then halfway through I realize I have. Then one of these free things, Marvel Universe, sort of like a catalog. And I'm going to take a look on there. So I like looking through these, see what's coming. See what we got. So X-Men number 1, Jonathan Hickman. So it makes sense when we're looking at these True Believers. I'll just do something. J.J. Abrams, Henry Abrams, and Sarah Pacelli. Spider-Man number 1. There's just so many Spider-Man and Batman. I like reading them, and I like the omnibus edition. So we get Black Panther. So I don't buy them as individual comics. And the X-Men I'm sort of interested in because I did a haul where I found volume 1 of the X-Men, a little omnibus volume, for $0.25. So that's it on the comic books. And now, this thing's heavy from Hyde Cottage. This is always great fun when this happens. Let's see. That opened very easily. Oh, there's some big books in here. There's some big books in here. What do we have here? Oh, well, I grabbed a great one to start with. This is Alexander Dumas, translated by Lawrence Ellsworth, 20 years after, a sequel to The Three Musketeers. And this translator has done these. He did The Three Musketeers. And this is exciting. So who puts this out? These would really be worth tracking them all and keeping track of them. Edited and translated by Lawrence Ellsworth. It's book 3 of the Musketeers cycle. A nice little premise there. So you have other titles from the Pegasus books. Three Musketeers, Red Sphinx, The Last Cavalier, and the Big Book of Swashbuckling Adventure. This is October 2019. This is wonderful. Look at that. So those are the list of them. I'm excited. This is really good. Excellent. Well, there's a rather dapper translator. Our author's been gone for some time, but well, excellent, excellent. How exciting is that? That's just a beautiful book. This next one's a doozy. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, you can't beat this. David Abulafia, I hope I'm not just destroying the name. The Boundless Sea, A Human History of the Oceans. How gorgeous is this? Wow. Now here's some of the people, some of my favorite writers are blurbed on the back. I get so I watch for these blurbs, I better look on the other one. Brian Fagin, who's a legendary writer of archaeology. Simon Winchester, who many of us know for, well, here they have that list. He was the author of The Atlantic, The Perfectionist, How Precision Engineering Created the Modern World. The list goes on and on. Simon Sebag Montefiore, another historian, Paul Friedman. Wow. Yeah. This is really, really something. This is a huge, Oxford University Press, 2019. This is really something. Let me see if they have any. Washington Post. Christian Science Monitor. The Red Sphinx sparkles and shines in a new translation, races along with pointed humor and broad quips. Fun permeates this big book. The rest of this year's fiction will have to look sharp. An old master has just set the bar very, very high. You almost wonder if that isn't. Well, I won't say it's Steve because I don't know it's Steve. But yeah, I know he loves these books, so maybe he can tell us if that's him. If it's not, I apologize. I'm allowed to speculate. And then what do we have? David J. Silverman. This land is their land. The Wampanoag Indians, Plymouth Colony, and the troubled history of Thanksgiving. How wonderful is this? I did see him hold this up on his channel and was pretty impressed with what I saw. This is Bloomsbury published in New York. This came out in 2019. This author has written some other books. Thundersticks, Firearms and the Violent Transformation of Native America. Ninigret, Sachem of the Niantics and the Narragansett. Diplomacy, War, and the Balance of Power in 17th Century New England and Indian Country. Red Brethren, the Brothertown and Stockbridge Indians, and the Problem of Race in Early America. And Faith and Boundaries, Colonists, Christianity, and Community among the Wampanoag Indians in Martha's Vineyard, 1600 to 1871. So this is an author who's really, really in this research. Let's see. David Silverman is a professor at George Washington University, where he specializes in Native American, Colonial American, and American racial history. He's the author of Thunderstruck, Red Brethren, Ninigret, and Faith and Boundaries. His essays have won major awards from the Omohundro Institute of Early American History and Culture and the New York Academy of History. He lives in Philadelphia, and there's our author. This looks fascinating. I'm sure it has, it has extensive notes. First thing you want to look at, right? That and the bibliography. Good index, another thing you want to look at. Has a glossary of key peoples and places. It does have photographs. This is going to be, this I'm excited to read. And then, I still feel some weight in here. Blowout by Rachel Maddow. Corrupted democracy in rogue state Russia and the richest, most destructive industry on earth. Analysis of this on this channel. I thought it looked interesting. Wait a minute, let me check these things. I like to check them because. Yeah. So this, let's see who it has. This is Crown, New York, 2019, first edition, of course. In 2010, the words earthquake swarm entered the lexicon in Oklahoma. That same year, a trove of Michael Jackson memorabilia, including his iconic crystal-encrusted white glove, was sold at auction for over $1 million to a guy who was, officially, just the lowly forestry minister of a tiny nation of Equatorial Guinea. In 2014, Ukrainian revolutionaries raided the palace of their ousted president and found a zoo of peacocks, gilded toilets, and a floating restaurant modeled after a Spanish galleon. Unlikely as it might seem, there is a crucial thread connecting these events, and Rachel Maddow follows it to its crooked source: the unimaginably lucrative and equally corrupting oil and gas industry. So we will have to see, huh? Boy, I don't even know. Do I dare to try a pyramid? Some of these books are quite heavy. Especially this one on the sea. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. I'll start with the Steve pyramid on the Steve books. So you got Blowout, This Land Is Their Land, The Boundless Sea, 20 years after, and now the test begins. Probably should do these in some sort of size order so I don't end up crashing and burning. Then we have Clive Cussler, The Gangster, an Isaac Belle novel. We have Sea Flower, Julian Stockman kid nautical adventure. The fourth of the 5 first ones I have, and the one I was missing, so that's sort of exciting. And I'm starting to not have control. Then we have Savage Avengers, Red Sonja, a couple True Believer X-Men, and a catalog. So not a bad Saturday. Again, much appreciated, Steve. Thank you very much for the books. And good day out wandering around. Cold day. Not horrible, but I mean, it's like in the 40s. But bright and sunny and just gorgeous. So with that said, thank you, BookTube.